Oh, and welcome to the program, Heather Vasquez. She is the director of Next Step Pregnancy Services in Linwood, Washington, north of Seattle, and is joining me today to talk about some really critical issues that face any Catholic Christian follower of Jesus Christ, any follower of Jesus Christ who believes that the gospel is also, in a very, very special and profound way, the gospel of life. And we are called upon to be heralds of that gospel in our time and in our place. Heather, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for having me.
Heather, how was that for like an introduction, huh? Did you have any idea that that's what you were doing in this interview?
No.
Heather, the right answer is to say yes, and I can't wait to dive into it. So, oh my goodness, I'm teasing you. Heather, it's funny, this is now going behind the curtain to interviews.
Sure.
One of the things that I've done a good job at is putting my foot in my mouth when it comes to names. And I would presume I had someone's name right, or I'm sure I heard it that certain way. And now I have, without exception, when it comes to an interview, before the interview even starts, I will say, how do you pronounce your name? Even if the name is John Smith, right? John Smith. So you think that's the name? And then sure enough, it's John Smythe, right? And I'm thinking, okay, why didn't I ask? Just be humble enough to ask. So Heather, I asked you because, your name is Heather Vasquez, and I was convinced it was Heather Vasquez, just because that's the typical pronunciation I would have associated with that name. And when I asked you and you said it, I'm like, oh, that is so funny. I said, I'm so happy. I'm so happy I was humble today. I'm not always humble, Heather. I'm happy I was humble today. And when I asked you and you said Vasquez, I'm like, the heavens parted, the voice of an angel sang, and revealed your name as Heather Vasquez. So I have to know, where did it come from? How did you come to pronounce the name, your last name, like that?
Well, it was just, my husband's mom, when she met his dad and they introduced each other, his mom misheard or something, misunderstood it, and kept saying Vasquez, and his dad just never corrected her. So I don't know why. He just never corrected her. They got married and the rest is history. And it's just been Vasquez, all of us.
Okay. All right. Now you just said something that, see, there's an angel delivering messages already, right? So there you go. You just said something. You just said, he never corrected her.
Yeah.
Wow. When it came to his name, it wasn't like, how do you like your coffee? Do you like do you like cream and sugar, or do you like, no, how do you pronounce your name? And he chose to receive his wife's pronunciation of his name and embrace that without correcting her. There's something profound there. I think I'm feeling a little convicted. I'm feeling a little convicted about correcting my wife sometimes. And so if your grandfather didn't correct your grandmother regarding how she pronounced his last name and ended up marrying her and having that come through the generations, that's really powerful. Wow. Okay. I got to take that to prayer. I got to see what God is saying to me through that. So Heather, you've already provided me an amazing service this morning. But Heather, we're here to talk about another organization with another name, and that name is what?
Next Step Pregnancy Services.
Next Step Pregnancy Services. I have been connected to Next Step for, I think, about 15 years. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. So
a long time now.
Been around. Yes, you guys have been around a long time, and I loved coming to events that supported and promoted Next Step. In fact, my daughter gave a testimony about standing up for life when she was 12 years old at one of your galas. Wow. So I have a very warm place in my heart for Next Step Pregnancy Services. And I asked you the name for a reason. Names are important. And when you think about pregnancy services, why is Next Step something that is essential and critical for the people that you serve? So that's what I want to understand.
Next Step is critical. Next Step Pregnancy Services. Sometimes we're called Next Step Pregnancy Aid. Pregnancy Aid is a wonderful, wonderful place, but yeah, we're services. So I'm glad we got that right. It's critical because being pregnant is a huge deal, whether you're married or single or young or older and it's just a huge deal, and you need help. Everyone needs help, and that's what Next Step is there for, to help you in any way we can with pregnancy, with children, in lots of ways.
Yeah, so folks, you may have remembered through the years I've had a chance to have on directors from Next Step Pregnancy Services to talk a bit about their work. And so it's really neat, Heather. I don't know if we've ever met before, Heather. Is this
Not
the first
in
time?
person, I don't think.
Okay, I
No.
don't think we've met in person, but it's neat to have you on. When I heard about the fact that your gala is coming up in on the 24th of September, on that Saturday. So it's coming up soon. I thought, oh yeah, I want to check in and hear, because there's always something happening. There's always a story to tell, and stories to tell that are they're not little. They're big deals, because there are lives at stake. And when we talk about the kinds of services that Next Step offers, we're talking about pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, counseling for those who are considering abortion, aid for providing maternity help, and other types of material goods that would be supportive of someone when they're pregnant, recovery after having an abortion, trying to find a place of healing. Also for men, giving them a place to go. There's so many things in that where you step in and offer a next step, Heather.
Yes.
It is just, it's really very powerful. Oh, adoption services, another one, right? So there's so many. So Heather, I know that there are always stories to tell in one of those avenues. And so I just love to say, as you think about just, this month or in the last couple of weeks, right? Can you think of a story that exemplifies for you what Next Step is all about? How it is we go from those descriptions of the services you offer to the concrete work of encountering someone who contacts you, comes through the door, is in relationship with you, and how you walk with them in taking their next step.
Yes, I can, Tom. Actually, there's a particular story going on right now, so to speak, that really highlights our nurses, especially our nurse manager, and the relationship that builds between the woman and our nurse. And it's someone that is young, has a few mental issues, and has a lot of stuff going on in her life, doesn't have a lot of support, is just a very distressed, I'd say kid, because she's a lot younger than me, but not a kid. She's in her 20s, but younger than me anyway. And just the fact that almost every day she's been in contact with our nurse manager, and our nurse manager takes the time out of her day, whether it's over the phone, when the gals come in, over email, reassuring her, talking to her, being honest and frank with her, treating her, like with respect. It's been a good journey. The gal had contacted us quite a while ago and was real reluctant to come in and to engage in conversation, and but she kept contacting us. So it was clear she really did want to talk and needed help. And so our nurse was persistent and was very engaging and committed to answering every question and always making sure the gal knew she was there and available. And she finally came in, we met her. And then again, it's still kind of going on. So she knows that when she's got a question or a worry, or is feeling, confused about the state of her life, whether it's she's had a few pregnancies, so to speak, and a few scares and things like that. And again, young, confused, not a lot of support. She now, I feel, knows Kim is there for her, and is it's been great to kind of watch their relationship grow, from somebody who was very reluctant to come in or to share, to someone who feels like Kim's there for her and she's got support. And then you go almost from a even less extreme point of just a gal coming in, and right before she came in, a guy dropped off this awesome toy basketball hoop, one of those kind of plastic ones.
Mhm.
And right then, we hardly ever get those, but I mean, it was a nice condition, and she came in and she just couldn't believe it because her young son had expressed interest in basketball. And it was just so she left that day with this awesome basketball hoop, excited to give to her son. And it was just, you might say it's coincidental, but I don't think so. I feel like God knew this gal's son likes basketball. This guy has a basketball hoop. There you go. So Next Step does work that is serious and in depth, and it also does work that is just fun. It was lovely to see her smile of excitement to bring that home to her son. So
that's so beautiful, Heather. That's Heather Vasquez from Next Step Pregnancy Services talking with me today on the program. Heather, I want folks to know that I just gave a lot of information about your important nonprofit organization that's been serving in the North Seattle area, and the net of coverage just goes beyond that for decades.
Yeah.
And here's the website. If you're watching this interview online, you can see it's Next Step NW, Next Step Northwest, nextstepnw.com. So it's nextstepnw.com if you're listening to this interview, and you'll see Next Step Pregnancy Services, and it has a variety of free services that you can see free of charge: the pregnancy testing, the ultrasound, pregnancy counseling, material assistance, with the baby boutique. And there it is. There's no basketball net in there because you know what?
No, it didn't even make it in there.
Didn't even make it in there. I love that. Post-abortion support, reproductive loss, et cetera, adoption information, referrals. So among all these services, it's again, this whole net of coverage, this whole net of love and care that you all provide. I have to say that there has been a tremendous amount of mischaracterization and intense opposition to groups like Next Step Pregnancy Services as a result of what happened over the last 6 months with the secret release of this potential draft decision of the Supreme Court on the Dobbs case from Mississippi that was going to be decided and potentially was going to overturn Roe versus Wade. And we now know that Roe versus Wade was overturned. And there was a window of time in there where there was a kind of reveal of the kind of not just a difference of opinion, but an intensity of opposition to the work that you do to welcome people like that troubled young woman who comes close to you and finds an open heart, an open space, a safe place to be received, to be accompanied in taking their next step. Do you remember those days? And if so, how did that impact Next Step?
I do remember them very much. They don't seem that long ago, but you know, it didn't even, I don't want to say it didn't affect Next Step, but it didn't stop us at all from any of the work that we did. It was kind of business as usual. Even on the day we had the vandalism and broken windows and spray paint and everything, people just, as people were coming to fix windows and clean spray paint, our clients were still coming in.
Okay, Heather, you just said something in passing, right? Like, I don't normally start, I was out there cutting my grass and fixing the window because someone had vandalized my house and spray painted it. So can we just pause for a minute? I want you to kind of go back, because I don't think folks, they maybe see things on the news, they don't think it's real, they don't think it's near, they don't think it's affecting them or people in their community. What actually happened at Next Step Pregnancy Services when this draft release came out, and then in those days, the days that followed?
Well, actually, the vandalism took place in between the draft leak and the actual overturning of Roe. We think it was just a lone person who was, I don't know, bored or confused, and showed up one night and spray painted all over the door and the front walkway and the back walkway, and broke all the windows in the front. And yeah, so we got to the clinic the next morning to all of that. And again, in 2 seconds, people had come to help us clean up and board up windows, get things ready. And what struck me the most, again, and we don't know whoever did this. Unfortunately, the Linwood police weren't able to get, they didn't have much. We had it all on video, but we who knows who that person was, and we've been blessed to not have that happen again. But what struck me the most was that it didn't stop us from doing our work, and it didn't stop clients from coming in, because whether there's a broken window or not, you need diapers, and your paycheck isn't coming till Friday, and it didn't stop anything from happening. And so I'm not sure what the goal was of that person, but it just convicted us even more, really, and showed us that we're in the right place. Everybody came in, of course, saying, wow, I can't believe this happened. Why would anybody have a problem with you guys? You guys are awesome. So, the whole day was filled with trying to explain, hey, I don't know why it happened, because it was pretty shocking. I mean, why would you do that to a place that their whole focus is to help women and children? We really had nothing to do with Roe or anything. It's not what we do. We're 100% pro woman and pro baby and pro family. And
yeah, I love the way, Heather, you guys say it. You're 100% pro you. I love that. You're just addressing the people that come to your website. 100% pro you is really beautiful. Now, next step. Now you guys have how many billions of dollars of cash in the bank? That yeah, that is not what it is. So today I'm talking with Heather Vasquez. Heather is the director of Next Step Pregnancy Services. You can see the website here, Next Step NW, nextstepnorthwest.com, nextstepnw.com if you're watching the interview. Heather, Next Step Pregnancy Services is a nonprofit organization, and you're a licensed medical facility, and a nonprofit organization. That means that you rely not on your services to generate the revenue you need to operate. You rely on those who believe in your mission,
yes,
who are willing to walk with you by volunteering and by financial giving, from those who have the financial strength and the call to say, I want to stand with the gospel of life. I want to stand with Next Step Pregnancy Services. I've been blessed myself and my family to financially support Next Step Pregnancy Services when we were living on that side and showing up and being part of past fundraising efforts that you all have done. But you have a gala coming up. Actually, this is another one of those languages. Do you guys call it a gala or a gala?
I think it's gala.
Gala. Okay, there we go.
I don't know. I've heard of both.
I'm from Boston, and people say things differently there. So a gala. So there's a gala coming up on September the 24th. Tell us about the gala.
Oh, it's going to be wonderful. Since we are a completely donor-run medical clinic, we rely so much on giving of the community, and we get it. The community has been a huge support, and so our biggest fundraiser every year is our gala, and this is the first year in the last couple of years we get to have a live one. So that's going to be really exciting. It's Saturday, September 24th at 6 p.m. And it's real close. It's at Holy Rosary Church in Edmonds, so it's real close to us. They've generously, said that they will host that for us.
Oh, that's beautiful. They've got a great facility too. Oh, it's lovely.
Really
what a lovely facility.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. You got dinner, you got music, a wonderful dynamic speaker. You might know in the news recently, they've also been talking about abortion pill reversal and how it's fake and it's not safe and not true. And while our speaker is an actual live version with a live kid version of how that actually isn't fake and how it works. So it's a wonderful process for a woman who, got into a position and feels she made a mistake. And if we can help her in any way, we're going to, and that is a process that can help. And she's there to talk about how it helped her and how she has her son. So it's a great speaker. We've got, again, great music, great catered dinner, a silent auction that's starting really soon, September 19th, a virtual silent auction with a lot of fantastic items and experiences. So I really encourage anyone, especially this week, because those caterers are knocking on the door to get a head count. If you're interested in purchasing tickets or coming to the event, to contact us and get that moving. It's going to be a great live event.
That's awesome, Heather. So folks that are listening, like if you're watching, again, I showed the website and I'll show it again. Nextstepnw.com gets you to the website, and it gives you the ability as well to contact the organization so that you can be in touch. Now, if folks want to, and so is this the number to call? Because folks that are listening, they're going to wonder, how do I get more information about the gala coming up on September 24th, starting at, did you say 6:30?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. starting at 6 p.m. at Holy Rosary in Edmonds. A lovely facility. There's going to be, there'll be a silent auction coming up in the days before. Does the silent auction close before the live event, or does it culminate at the live event?
It actually goes right past the event. So it's
Oh,
a week
nice.
prior. So Monday to the Monday. So it's open that, because there are a lot of
Oh,
people
that's
that
cool.
are unable to come to the event. And if they're unable to, that's another way to support us with supporting on the silent auction. Again, great stuff we've got. So I really suggest you check it out. I can give you the link that actually goes to the information.
Yeah,
for our
please.
events.
Please, would you say that?
Yeah, we do have another website that's specifically for people to learn about Next Step behind the scenes. So kind of what goes on behind the scenes, how to volunteer, how to donate, all the great, stories. It's nssupport.org. So if that's what you go to, nssupport.org. And that's where you'll find all of our events, blogs, newsletters. It's
Oh, nice.
a great place to go. And it also tells you where to go to register for the event or purchase tickets, things like that.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yeah.
Heather, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm going to put that on the screen as well. If you're watching this interview on Facebook or YouTube, you'll see Next Step support site, NS Support. So it's NSS. So NS and then the word support.org, which gives you lots of information, including how to get involved and sign up for the upcoming gala on September the 24th. Starts at 6 o'clock. Up there it is right there.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is at Holy Rosary Church. And here, yeah, you can register right there. You can get in more information and get more information.
The events tab, where is it? Over here, the left.
There we go.
My left, your left. Yeah.
I love this. We're doing this. This is great radio. Okay, hey, look to the left. Click on this.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
That really gives a lot of details about our speaker and kind of what's dinner, the wonderful dinner from 12 Baskets we've got going. Yeah, it gives you the link to actually go right in and register and purchase. And yeah, it's going to be.
That's awesome. Yeah, and then here's your speaker, Rebecca. Is it Hagen? You see, I'm asking now.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask about the name.
Yes,
right, Rebecca Hagen, talking about this important issue of life.
Yeah.
Heather, any final words you'd like to say today about Next Step pregnancy services or about your upcoming gala? I'd love to be able to give you that last moment to be able to speak to this.
Well, again, we are completely donor run, so we count on the community to help us out. So I'd really encourage you to attend our event. It's going to be wonderful. And the last thing I want to say really is, as you had mentioned, Tom, there's a lot of misinformation out there about pregnancy resource clinics and centers. And the best thing you guys can do to help us is to spread the truth. Our nurses don't make decisions for any of our clients. We're there 100% for that person in whatever capacity they need. We meet them where they're at, whether they're thinking about abortion, whether they're thinking about parenting, whether they're a Christian, whether they're not, it doesn't even matter. We meet them where they're at and support them. And so we need you to spread we're a licensed medical clinic. They're not fake. We actually have licensed medical personnel. And so there's a lot of information out there that's really, really wrong, that is inaccurate. So if you could spread that out there, real medical clinics, real people, real help.
That's awesome. That's Heather Vasquez. She's the director of Next Step Pregnancy Services, joining me today on the program. Heather, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Tom, for having me. I appreciate it.